All right, I got a situation here where my water heater is actually not turning on. And I have this blinking light going on right here. And usually that's an indicator that the power vent isn't working. So what I gotta do here is I am going to take off the power vent and see what might be going on here with the motor. And this is usually a pretty simple setup. The system is designed where the water heater won't heat the water anymore if the power vent isn't on. It's a safety feature. Because if the vent can't vent things properly, it can create a very bad situation for your home. Unplug this up here, right here. I think there's 4 screws holding this on. Those actually can just be turned to the side. This one can be turned to the side. There's one over here. Generally don't have issues with my water heater, but my motor has been making noise. Little wire connector right here. And you always want to make sure that you unplug things. So this is actually unplugged from the wall. So that is now unplugged. So something is not venting properly out of here. So I'm going to take this motor apart here if I can, so I can see what I'm looking at. Let's see if just this cover will get me where I want to be, just to see what's moving and what's not. And again, there's a lot of sensors here that will let you know, lets the water heater mechanism know if things are working properly. And if it's not turning on, you do not want your water heater running, because like I said, it can be very, very dangerous. But if you can get this running, that is a good thing. But this is getting old. The water heater is actually just fine. I drain it at least once a year, and I never have any sediment in the bottom. So I'm just trying to get anything off that will give me access to this motor. There we go. I need a larger one. It's pretty stiff. That is pretty stiff. The motor is not spinning the best. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. This should spin much better than this. So right in here is a bearing. You see this? So if I hold this like this is not turning very well. I got this, usually use these for electric motors. They're for your like blower motor in your furnace. They have these little sponge pads. And this is best to grease the bearings on electric motors like this, so things spin how they're supposed to. And so the other thing I want to do is I want to get in down in there as well. You can see this is helping a lot. See? Look at that. That was not doing that before. This motor was really seized up. I am definitely going to want to get a new unit here, but for now, look at that just spin. It was not doing that before. So I'm working this back and forth, trying to get all that grease in there, or oil. So those bearings probably just dried up. So that motor wouldn't turn on anymore. I'm good with that. And this is never a fun situation when your wife wants to take a shower. So that is spinning really well now. Probably not as good as a brand new one, but it is spinning really well for its situation. Put this back together. I was notified on this at about 9. It's 9:30 right now. And while this is off, I'm gonna get a part number. I want to make sure all the things go back together in their proper location. So that housing was on there like that. And remember, we want to not lose our bolts. Sometimes you can do this, and then it just, because it's a fine thread, you just need enough to get it started. See, that's all I need to do. All I need to do to get it started. Get in here and hold this together like this. All right, so the last thing I gotta do, stick these rod bolts in. Those were right in here. This is essentially what makes the universal motor attach. You wanna get everything back exactly how you found it. Otherwise, things won't work properly either. Last screw. Get these snug. See now, if you look down in there, there's a fan blade, and I wasn't able to move that at all. And now with me greasing it, I can just use my thumb and turn this, and the whole unit turns. So I actually think we're in good shape now. So like I said, you want to make sure you put all the wires back. Make sure nothing's pinched. There's a vacuum line that you want to make sure is hooked up here. Again, this entire system is set up to detect whether this unit is working or not. We haven't bypassed anything. All we've done here is maintenance on this, which is probably what it needed. So let's go downstairs and get this hooked back up. We're back here. Gotta get this back exactly where it was. Get this plugged back together. Gotta get the vent up there hooked up too. So you want to make sure that everything is aligned exactly where it was. Probably one of the more difficult ones to get in is this one right here. Got that tied in there. That was on there like that. Again, you don't want to do anything different than what it was. There's one screw over here that's really difficult to get at, but I got it. You don't want to force any screws either. So got that. Gonna tighten this one right here. Get that snug right there. Get that one snug right there. That one down snug. The entire unit is held together properly. So let's get good snug on that. And so that is all back together. So the last thing we're gonna do is plug it in. up here and turn the power on. So let's see what we got here. All right, there's a switch on the back side over here. Got that powered on. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there it went. So it's got an electronic igniter, and as long as it gets a successful return from the motor, so this has got to work for that igniter to kick on, and you can hear it running now. So that was the problem. This was seized up, and I can already feel the warm air hitting this. So now my water heater's working again. I got to replace that motor at some point here, but we're back in business. All right, so this is just a quick video here, but I got tight quarters here. But this is a power vented system. A lot of people's water heaters just go straight up, so it just vents straight up. It doesn't have a power vent. Mine has a power vent, which means this unit has to work, otherwise the igniter won't kick on. So this is a 21-year-old water heater. I don't have any sediment in it every year when I drain it, maybe just a couple flakes, but I've maintained it for a lot of years and it's taken good care of me. And I hate to get rid of the water heater when the only thing that is starting to go on it is this power vent. So as you can see, I oiled the power vent, got it moving again, and everything's operational. So I'll probably just order a power vent, because it's a difference between maybe spending $100 to $200 on a new motor versus buying a new water heater for what could be $2,000. So for now, that's what we're going to go with, and we'll catch you on the next one.